Hello, I'm Cyril, and this is my third Unix lab experiment. In this, we have to perform looping statements using shell scripting. So we have 5 questions. The first is factorial of a number, the second sum of given series, third a Fibonacci series, fourth multiplication table, and fifth is a scientific calculator. Yeah, so here I have created a menu driven program. So I've included everything in this menu, like all the calculator things that are in a scientific calculators, and then a factorial sum of series, Fibonacci, and multiplication table. So first I'm going to show you the scientific calculator. So here I have addition, subtraction, multiplication, then sine, cos, tan, modulus, square, and that all that. So I'll show you the code for addition. So in this I'm gonna take values from the user and I'm gonna read it into A and B, and then I'm gonna add and store it into C. So here it's simple addition. We have to use a $sign A and then add and $sign B, and then I'll use echo to give the output. And now for multiplication, similarly I'm gonna ask values from the user, 2 values, and then I'm gonna multiply them and then store them in C. So now for sine, I'm gonna ask the user for a degree, and then I'm gonna read the degree into this, and then I'm gonna use the pi value and the radian value, and then I'm gonna put it into s radian and find the value of sine. So it's almost same for all the others too, like cos and tan. So I'm gonna move forward. My next question is the factorial of a number. So the code for the factorial of a number is so I'm going to ask for a value from the user and read the value into a variable value. I'm going to assign a value 1. So for now I'm going to run a for loop from 1 to the value the user is going to input, and then I'm going to simply multiply the values from the I value that I'm getting and the value that is gonna get updated every time we multiply. So in the end we're gonna find factorial, that is the sum of all the digits till where the user has asked us. Next is sum of a given series. So the logic here is I'm going to ask the user for a number till where he wants the sum, and I'm going to read it into NUM, and I'm going to initialize I as 1 and sum as 0. Here I'm going to run a while loop, and I'm going to say if I is less than num till I is less than 1, I'm going to do this, and that is I'm going to add sum and I, and then I'm going to store the value into sum. And now here I'm going to add, every time I'm going to add the value of 1 and increment the value of 1 and store it in I, and after that I'm going to use echo to print out the sum of the series. Next is Fibonacci series. In Fibonacci series I'm going to ask the user how many number of terms to be generated, and then I'm going to initialize x as 0 and y as 1, and then I'm going to initialize I as 2 as the minimum value the user can enter. So here I'm going to simply print out the first 2 values, and then I'm going to run a while loop where I'm going to check if I is less than n. If it is, then I'm going to add 1 to I, increment it, and then I'm going to add x and y, that is these two, and store it into z, and I'm going to print it out. And after that I'm going to substitute the value of y into x and the new value of z that we found into y, and this while loop keeps on running until and unless the value of I becomes greater than n. And now for the multiplication table, the user is going to enter the table he wants, and then I'm going to run a for loop from 1 to 10, and I'm going to simply multiply the value from the values I'm going to get from the for loop and print it out, and that will give me the table. So now I'm going to run my program. So first I'm going to show you addition. So 2 plus 2 is getting 4. So now let's try with sign. Okay. I'm going to enter the value 30. Here you can see the value of 30 is 1 by 2, so it's giving out 0.50. Now let's try a factorial. This option. So enter the value for factorial, so I'm going to enter 5. So it's going to give out the sum of the numbers from 1 to 5. Sorry, multiply the value from 1 to 5. No. Next, the sum of series. So I'm going to enter a number like till 10, and it's going to print out the sum from 1 to 10. Next is the Fibonacci. So I'm going to print till where I want the Fibonacci to be printed. So here I have the Fibonacci up to 5 terms. Next is the multiplication table, and it's going to ask for the table you want. So let's try 7. So here it shows us the table of 7. Well, that's it with the program. Thank you.